And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to welcome you all to the Hello Pivot, the Thursday live broadcast with the Hello LLC. And if you guys do not know what the Hello LLC is all about, it is about helping entrepreneurs leverage leading edge optimizations. And more importantly, it's about helping everyone live life optimally. And today, we have an amazing individual that has joined us, and we know this individual quite well. This is Miss Roberta Pacino. She's an artist. She's an entrepreneur. She has an amazing last name that you guys know about. But more importantly, the person behind the art, she has went to school for her MFA producing and live theater. She's a film producer. She also has a spiritual side to her that we're going to talk about. And more importantly, she is the artist behind R. Pacino Artworks, and more importantly, her art is a conversation. It's not just art. And with that being said, Miss Roberta Pacino, it is a pleasure to have you with us today. Of course, we have our other half, Miss Tara Bush, with us as well. But ma'am, how are you doing today? Share with the folks a little bit more what I didn't share already.
Well, I'm an artist. I'm based in Seattle, and I spend a lot of time in the metaverse, and I think that we're going to talk about that a lot today. And I think you covered a lot of everything. So, Tara and David are my coaches, and they're just amazing. They've brought me into the 3D technology world, and I'm learning so much, and I'm enjoying it so much, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So, you mentioned the metaverse, right? If you would share with the people a little bit more about, how has your artistry, and the metaverse, combined together? Talk to us about that transition.
Well, I paint with acrylics on canvas, and I didn't do any digital painting or anything like that. And but I'm able to photograph my artwork and then present it in the metaverse. And it's really an amazing experience, and in so many ways I get to see my own work, before me, all together in showcase. And it, shows me where I've come from, where I'm going. It's very clarifying, and it's pretty amazing. There's a lot of input all the time because there's people there that are walking in and out, and yeah, it's been really fantastic. It's changed everything, really. Expanded my horizons, to say the least.
Absolutely. And what would you share with somebody that is an artist, that is looking to, maybe expand their brand and expand, their reach? Why would you share and tell them, hey, you should get your business into the metaverse? What would you share with them?
Well, there's I feel that it's not like gonna happen. It's happening. It's in the beginning. And that's always a good place to get into something, I think. I mean, everybody wants to get in on the beginning. So this is it with the metaverse. So that's the first thing. Like, there's an opportunity to just walk right into this with, I don't know if it'll always be this easy, but it's easy now. So that's one thing I don't think putting it off is such a good idea. Do it now, learn now, and everybody there is learning as it's happening. It's like exploding, and everybody's excited, and our minds are opening with every new bit of technology. So yeah, I mean, I would say yeah, it's super stimulating in so many ways.
Yeah. What would be, a great story that you would share with people with showcasing your art, in the metaverse to a potential, buyer or just somebody admiring your art? What would be one of the stories that stand out like, this is why I did this?
Oh, well, I love taking people for tours of my gallery because it gives me a chance to just go with each picture, and people talk about it, what it means to them, and they ask questions, and they increase my appreciation for my own work, because everybody has a take on it, and it's really, really fascinating. And then, and I just love that. And I love that the people that I see are coming from all walks of life, all over the world. So you get the perspective from so many different people. So I think that that's one of the things that I love about it the most, that stands out the most to me, is the exchange between the people that come there and myself.
Yeah. And that's the one thing that we share with people a lot, is that, utilizing the metaverse, AKA the third generation of the internet, and us going from this flat screen to this 3D immersive environment that we all have to understand is right in front of us. Watching the Super Bowl, watching these commercials. American Idol is showcasing their shows in metaverse. NBA had 51 games and showcased in the metaverse. And even now, with these Apple Vision Pros that came out, people are now seeing people being able to fix their car, show the YouTube, show their actual, their manual of their car, and see in their car, where you can't do that on your phone. And this is the thing that I encourage people to understand. When TVs first came out, people said, "Oh no, nobody will ever watch this 500-pound TV, box on your living room floor." When cars came out, nobody's going to trade in their horse pooping all over the floor. And, we got to feed it and put horseshoes on for this gas guzzling thing. Nobody's ever going to do it. It's too dangerous. We don't know what it's going to do. The same thing with computers, the same thing, with internet, and even more so with artists and people that are looking at creating this different environment, especially on a global market, where you as an artist, you no longer have to go and put your painting up in a restaurant or pay this gallery, to showcase your art. You now can create this 3D immersive environment that people can go and look at from their cell phone, from their laptop, from their VR headsets, and yes, these Apple, Vision Pros, and especially with your BIZ-N-A-BOX that you have with us, it allows people easy access to get that QR code, say, hey, go to my gallery, go to my storefront from my BIZ-N-A-BOX, and boom, it's easy access that really allows people, and as a business owner, you lessen the confused mind, because a confused mind will say no, right? And so, Tara, love, with you, do you have any questions you want to ask Miss Roberta?
Nope.
Well, Miss Roberta, none whatsoever at all. I'm curious, how did you even discover the metaverse? How did you get started in the metaverse? What was that driving force?
Well, I had a friend, that I knew on Facebook who was familiar with the metaverse, and he contacted me and he said, "Oh, I think your art would look really good in the metaverse. It really works there." So I was so open. I'm still amazed at how open I was to it. It was like, oh yeah, okay. So I got introduced to, the artist district in the metaverse, in the multiverse actually, and I got a store there. But I mean, it was like I couldn't get in unless I got a headset, and I tried to borrow my son's headset. Forget that, and I just, so I just went out and got a headset, and I thought, I was just so spontaneous. Like, I'm going to just do this. I want to check it out. And it was like nothing was going to stop me from checking it out, where I'm always finding excuses not to do stuff. There was no excuse. I just did it. And yeah. So, and I when I got in there, I was like, oh, this is so amazing. It was just so fantastic. It's like, I've always liked the idea of being able to dream with somebody, oh, I wish I could have a dream and I could actually be with a friend in my dream. It's like the closest thing to that, it's almost like that, which is really, really fantastic. So.
And how long have you been in the metaverse, the Web3 area? Sorry, there's a bit of a lag. My apologies.
I'm sorry. Okay, so it's been about a year and a half, I think. It's been over a year. So a year and a half. Yeah, not that long.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of long enough to
and you build a community. you've built a community. You were talking to,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Miss Roberta, go
No,
ahead.
no, you're on.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to ask, so you were talking about, the communities that you have been able to, be a part of and the artist district and creating that. And, I wanted to ask you about the power of just meeting people within Web3. And the reason I say that is because a lot of times people kind of have a little standoffish about meeting people across the internet, that they can't physically, say, hi, I'm Tara. Hi, I'm Roberta, and feel physical flesh when they shake a hand. And so, what is it like, with building community, meeting people within, Metaverse and Web3?
Okay, so it's fantastic because you don't have that separation like, they're online or on the phone or anything. They're right. It's like they're right there with you in the room with you, even
Yeah.
though we're in an avatar or whatever. And even expressions and, you can read kind of read body language and read, the voice. I don't know. I don't really know how it works, but there's a lot more communication going on than you would expect. And it's and there's also the benefit, I think, that you do have, in a way, an avatar is a benefit because you're not making judgments about, even these lightning quick judgments that we make about people, even that we don't know we do it, if they're a blonde or whatever, you just, sorry, blonde, I just had to use an example, but yeah, you don't have that, they could be anything or look like anything. And so I think that's good. I mean, I think that's good for people too, because they can open up more because they don't feel like they're being judged. I don't know, but I think that's probably a benefit. Eventually we'll have avatars that look, if we want them to, just like we look in real life. But, I don't know if people are going to even want that. We'll see.
Well, and well, first of all, that's the cool thing is that, there's going to be so much that comes down the pipeline that we haven't even got to experience yet within Web3, and the beautiful thing that I always find about like what you were sharing is it really is the communication. You find that there's more communication happening than the passive judgments that we pass based on physical sight. There's so many things that are unspoken by the sight, that when it turns around and we actually just are based on listening to people, how they speak, the inflection that they're using within the tone of their voice and things like that, it really allows it to become a really nice way to be able to connect authentically or not connect authentically. You know what I mean? Like there's just people in this world that we connect with and there's people in this world that we don't connect with. So my next question for you, because a lot of people have this, is how easy was it to get started in the metaverse? I know you were talking about headsets and all that, but now that, like, for instance, in March 2nd, we have your, new storefront that David was just sharing and your gallery opening up. How easy is it for you to be a part of not just one world, but multiple worlds within the metaverse?
So it's easy to do. It's sometimes it's like, I've gone to a new world and somebody say hello and I'll run away, like scared, like have a little bit of social anxiety, a little bit, but nothing like you can have in the real world, So, but just the technology is pretty, it's pretty much the same, in the different apps and stuff. And so you just kind of know how to get through it. And I would say it's, simple. I mean, I'm not super techie or anything, and I'm doing it fine. So, yeah, was that your question? Like, how?
Yeah, because that's the kicker. you nailed it when you're like, I'm not super techie, but I'm in there. That's the kicker.
Yeah.
Is most people think that this is for a younger generation, or that it's, oh, I'm not going to know because I'm not technically savvy or anything. And it just really comes down to the simple fact of understanding that you don't have to be. It's pretty, if you can use your phone, if you can use an app, if you can push a button, it's pretty easy on getting in there.
It's pretty much
So
like that. If you can get online and navigate, then you can do it.
And the great thing about it also is that, everybody can go to your BIZ-N-A-BOX that is in your link in your bio, and they can literally tap on, the screen where it says, visit your Art Pacino artwork store, or, they can go to your gallery right from your BIZ-N-A-BOX. And this is as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4. You click on that button, you download a free app, you come back, you click on that button again on our BIZ-N-A-BOX. It has you create a simple avatar where right now in our actual app, you put a picture of yourself and it makes the avatar as close as possible to your actual picture. And boom, you are in metaverse. And this is where we share with people that, hey, this is why our BIZ-N-A-BOX allows us to build your foundation and allow us to be able to pivot you from that 2D to 3D to overcome that fear of, oh, I'm not that good, or, oh, this isn't my cup of tea, because this is what we share with people. This is where we're going. And just as we all said to ourselves, I'll never get on Facebook. You got on Facebook. I'll never get on Instagram. You got on Instagram. Miss Roberta, a year ago, if I had said, hey, Miss Roberta, get on TikTok, she would have said, no, David, absolutely not.
I did say that, and I did it, and I could do it. And I think that's the thing. People don't know what they can do. You've got to just do it. And so, yeah, and this is one of those things for sure. I think we all have all the skills we need to get in the metaverse now, like you're saying, through the phone, through the internet, through everything, and then just, apply them here. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Miss
Roberta,
go ahead. Love.
I was going to say, so Miss Roberta, what are some new projects that you're working on within, your metaverse spaces?
Well, let's see. I do have this new store. Besides the new store and gallery, and we have a grand opening coming up. I have some a gallery in the multiverse, and I also have a theater there. And I'm having some monthly meetings just with people who are interested in film, and also people who work in the film industry and in theater, because I think it would be absolutely fascinating for all of us to get together and create a project. So that's the idea. We're just kind of networking and getting to know each other, and who knows what will come of that. I'm excited about that. I'm starting to go into workrooms, which is Horizon Workrooms, and going to meetings there. And it is such an awesome place to have a meeting. So I don't really know what I'm doing, and I'm going to learn. It's like, okay, everybody else here has got this figured out, so I can do this. I can figure it out. So, but I know enough to get in there and be in a meeting, but just not, all the technical stuff. But I will by our next talk. I'll know how to do it. And I'm working very, 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 very early stages of a podcast that I'm working on, which it's in the metaverse, and I don't know how it's actually going to work in the metaverse. So that's going to be really exciting to see how that's going to work. And
and I'm so excited for this podcast. As Miss Roberta has been one of our Pivot VIP members for over a year now, going on a year. We've been talking about this podcast, and here it is. We're bringing it to the world, y'all. And
I have to do it, and then here it is.
Gotta do it, right?
I'm close.
And so, do you want to share with the people, the name of this podcast?
Oh, yeah. So it's called Kiss of Fame with Roberta Pacino. And we're going to interview people creative people that are either like really famous or not famous at all, but we're going to talk to them about their art, what they're creating, and also the effects of fame in their lives. Because, fame can be really horrible. So, but you kind of need to be famous, a little famous, a tiny bit of famous, to do the kinds of things we're trying to do. People have to see you. They have to see you online and everything in order to buy your product or whatever. So we'll talk about that. People that have had fame and then lost it. That's probably another terrific trauma. But mostly talking about creativity, the different things people are doing in their lives, and I'm really excited. I love talking to people and talking to them about their lives and how they got into what they're doing, and I find it fascinating. So I expect the podcast to reflect that, to be fascinating. So
excited.
That's my idea.
And not only that, one thing that we do want to share with you guys all is that, come and join us on March 2nd at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we have one of our AI motion works that Miss Roberta gets to sit back and introduce you guys to come and join us. And so here we go. You guys ready?
Immerse yourself in a groundbreaking artistic realm. Renowned artist Roberta Pacino, sister to the legendary actor Al Pacino, unveils her metaverse artwork store and gallery. Our Pacino Artworks, located in the Hello Plaza. This groundbreaking venture marries cutting-edge virtual reality with a distinctive artistic vision. Join us on March 2nd at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to explore the vibrant, magical scenes and enchanted whimsical creatures, all infused with Pacino's unique style. Experience art like never before with VR technology, exclusive artwork reveals, and a live Q&A with Roberta herself. Don't miss this revolution at the intersection of art, technology, and imagination. Mark your calendars for this event. You don't want to miss it.
Boom.
I love that.
If you could,
beautiful.
to people more, what they should, expect, for this grand opening as you share more about, your work and what you've been up to.
Well, the grand opening is going to take place in Spatial. We're at the Hello Plaza Mall too. And you can get to it on an app on your phone. You can get to it through a website on your computer, or you can put on a headset and come there and in virtual reality. And so Tara and David built out this gorgeous store for me. It is so beautiful. I go there like, oh, this is just so beautiful in their mall. And then and it talks about what I do and shows my products and because I make gift items and everything that have my pictures on them. And then from there's a portal that you can go through, and it takes you to my gallery, which has my paintings up on the on walls, big paintings on the walls, and you can go browse all the paintings and look at all my work. And I'll be there, and David and Tara will be there, and all of you will be there. So it's going to be like a real party. It will be really fun.
Yeah. I love it. Speaking of your gallery, Miss Roberta, is the art that you're portraying physical art that you painted in real life, or is this virtual art that you created? What kind of art will we be able to see?
Well, the art that you'll see in my gallery is art that I've painted and then photographed and then, uploaded the photographs to this gallery. So they're photographs of my art that I painted. So it's not AI art, it's not digital art. It is handmade art, man-made art, woman-made art. Yeah.
And how long does it take you to create a piece that you're hand painting?
It takes me a long time because I'm really meticulous. There's lots of little lines and everything. It's not
you.
flash. So when I start going crazy, then I think, oh, I'm going to wrap this one up. But
Yeah.
I don't know, not full time working a couple of months, but not like 8 hours a day, a couple of months. But it takes a couple of months to paint one.
And what are you currently working on? Because I know you're working on something.
Oh, well, I've been working on a solar system, a picture of the solar system that actually I was asked by my son and his wife to paint for their new baby boy, because they're doing his whole room in solar, in, the cosmos. So I'm just finishing that one up, and I'll put that one in the gallery and you'll be able to see it. It's not what I usually paint, but it was really challenging, and I think it came out good. I mean, I think it's beautiful, and so do they. So that's what matters. Now he's going to be looking at it, for years. So I wanted it to be. It's really hard to be really accurate with a solar system because there's not enough room on a canvas. But so I try, so it's proportional, like, Venus is 95% the size of Earth, and, that kind of thing. Mercury is that they're the size of Earth. So I try to kind of do that until we get to the, Jupiter, and then forget about it. So,
And everything else can't fit.
So much about the planets painting this thing that I didn't know before.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting.
So, you state that this is not typically what you do. What is the genre or kind of the artistic, craft that you normally, or kind of guide rails, or what do you normally paint?
Well, normally, I mean, I've painted mostly like animals that are kind of anthropomorphic. I mean, they don't really look like humans. Like, they have animal hands and all that kind of stuff, and they look like the animal. They're kind of realistic in a way. I guess magical realism is what you'd call it. And their expressions are realistic, but they're all gathered together in usually they're eating, and it's food is the great equalizer. So you have all these animals that would be maybe enemies in real life, but they've all come together for a meal, and they're dressed in human clothing. So that they just kind of come up. I mean, they just kind of appear to me, which is really, while I'm painting, I kind of have an idea what I'm going to paint it, but little things will appear, like, a bottle of wine on the table, or I wasn't going to plan to have them having a drink, but I kind of feel like, oh, I want a drink. So I don't know.
They need a drink.
And then I started painting some women, like, I really want to do more of that, and the more I paint them, the better they'll look. So that's another thing that really interests me, and that I have to really get inspired, like, and I do get inspired, like, I have just got to paint that, and so that's what I'm waiting for the women one. So I have some things are developing, so that's kind of what I do.
Well, that leads me into another question, because we could keep on unrolling this, is, for someone who is starting, that is not, has not been painting, where would you guide someone to kind of get their groove, right? Because everybody's different. Everybody is absolutely different. And so what would you suggest for someone if they're wanting to get started on, their painting journey, how to tap into that? What I mean by that is their style. What style works for them?
Oh, yeah. So you're talking about you're not talking about getting into the metaverse to paint, right? Because that's something, so a lot of people.
No, like if they're just getting started.
Well, let me see. All I can really think about is how it started for me. What I did. The style just kind of develops, and especially with me, is I really wanted a style. I mean, I was like, I want to do this, and so I don't know. It's almost like the power of desire or something. It was like so if you want it, you just sit down and do it, and you just got to kind of trust, and let, you know, let all those things that come up, like you can't do it, or doesn't look good, or you don't have time, or you don't, just rest with them. Just let them, just, you know, just let them be there, but don't indulge. I guess what I'm saying is, don't indulge the negative kind of thinking, and just let the flow, let it flow out of you. It does that. And I feel like my friends and my family have really been inspired by seeing me, because I only started painting, you know, a few years ago, and they're like, well, I didn't know you could paint. I'm like, well, I didn't know either, you know? And so like, and it's like, I'm going to paint. So like, that's great. Anyway. So yeah, that's how it happened for me. It was pretty much spontaneous. And I think that's there for everybody, if you just rest with all the voices that tell you have to do something else, or, you know, that's my advice.
And I think that's something that we talk about all the time, right? As far as showing up and pressing the button and just doing the work, and not worrying about what anybody else says, how they think, what they think. It's just you doing it, and you know, finding your passion. And we all have to be able to find our passion and let these outlets out, because the daily, you know, work, job, this, that, and the other, we all need to find an outlet. And I know for you, this is one of your outlets that now has turned into, you know, passionable, you know, success for you to be able to create and share this with other people. So, you know, what would be, you know, one of the things that you would share, you know, with artists that are looking to make that pivot or looking to make that jump? If you could whisper in their ear, what would you share with them?
The jump into the metaverse?
The metaverse, or just into showcasing their art? What would you whisper into their ear just to get them going?
Oh, be brave. You know, just do it. I'm thinking like an ear that I'd whisper. What would I say to somebody that wants to get started? You know, like I just did it. That's what I did, and that's what I would tell them. I guess just to follow, just go with what they want to do. You know, listen to themselves. Listen to yourself. You know.
Yeah.
They might not what I have to say, but you know, they're like, can you give me something else? But
exactly.
Yeah, follow your instinct.
Follow your instincts. And you know, with that being said, is there, you know, anything else that you want to share with the folks? You know, something we might not have asked that you wanted to share with the people so that they know more about what you're up to?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's so much I'm doing. I'm learning, like, what are the important things to do every day, because there's so much that I can do, and I want to do all of it. And then it's like, well, I really don't have the time. I mean, time is kind of like real in that sense. In a lot of ways, I feel like it's not, but in the sense, like, you just have so much to get all these things done in a day. So I'm learning what to do, and what I'm spending my time doing is learning about the metaverse, promoting my art, promoting my art. And I also have an Etsy shop where I put you know, I have different products that have my art. Plus, you can get prints and you can get them framed. And then I have another shop, if you're interested, that you can get them framed in, you know, any way, in any frame, on metal, however you want it. And that's all available in the BIZ-N-A-BOX, which they can see that where that is here. Right? It's got all my links in it, which is awesome. So that's why I don't know if we'd even talked about that much, but yeah, it's. Yeah, I really love it. It's got all the links. David and Tara did it for me. And so that's like, I'm working on the podcast. I think we covered everything I'm doing. Maybe. I mean, not every single thing, but most of
Yeah, no, we absolutely did. We shared your biz in a box earlier when you and Tara were talking. And, if you guys don't know about our biz in a box is a one app, one tap that literally takes your static website, takes that traditional, landing page, and literally is able to up your business with systems behind it. Not only was Miss Roberta able to customize it to her liking, but now she has a QR code. Now she's able to have her Hello AI Motion Works, where she's able to showcase, her actual AI avatar. People can go straight to her actual storefront and her gallery from her biz in a box. People can go and look at all the amazing artwork if they want to purchase it from her fine wall art, or if they want to go to her Etsy store. She also has amazing art journals and notebooks. We just did a live unboxing for her Valentine's Day coffee mugs. It's still not too late. It could be a late gift. You can get it for next year. You never know, right? And so
yeah, you can give a mug with a heart on it any time of the year. I would love it.
every day is Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's like giving flowers or something.
Also, you guys can get some socks, right? The note cards. There's an abundance amount of things that you all should go. And more importantly, just go visit, right? You all can get, your free 2024 calendar that she has her biz in a box. You literally can download that, easy peasy breezy, give it as a gift, put it on your wall. And then, come and learn more about Miss Roberta, because a lot of people, think they know because they hear the last name, but it is completely different, night and day, just us being able to spend time with her and really learn who Miss Roberta is. And she's separate from that last name, and just an amazing soul. And you would be surprised, right? Miss Roberta is funny like no other. If you sit down with her, she has some character that you just gotta catch on to, and it's awesome. And so, we love Miss Roberta. And so you guys definitely go and support and share, because this is what we talk about all the time. You might not have to give any money, but it's free to support. It's free to share. It's free to come, from your cell phone on March 2nd while you're sitting wherever you are, and just pop in and see this third generation of the internet and how it all plays a part in our lives. And so we're excited to even have you, join us and be a part of, what we're doing and how we're doing it. And so, with that being said, you guys all go and visit rpacino.io and be able to visit her biz in a box. No, .art.
No, don't go there.
rpacino.art is where you want to go, my friends. Not I get confused with mine. But you guys definitely go and check that out. You go to all of her social media, from her Instagram, her Facebook, her YouTube. Go and definitely check out her YouTube channel. She's everywhere, even on Twitter. And so, with that being said, Tara, yeah, and TikTok. Yes, and TikTok. We're going to be doing some more stuff on TikTok as we move forward, especially with this podcast also.
Yeah. Well, Miss Roberta, as we wrap up this amazing conversation today, is there anything that you would love to leave, the audience with, and just share what your closing thoughts are with them?
Well, I love doing this, that I'm able to talk about the metaverse mostly. I mean, that's what I really feel like it's the most exciting and stimulating things people can do, at any age. You can do it, so it opens up your mind. It keeps you active in what's going on in the world, and then in other worlds, and kind of an otherworldly place. So I would say that, that get involved if you can get involved, because you're going to have a lot of fun. And I hopefully you come and you look me up and we can hang out too. So that would be awesome. I'd really love that. Come visit me, come to my grand opening. And that's a start. And it's easy to do, because that one, you don't even need a headset. And it's not exactly virtual reality from your phone, right? I mean, you can say that it isn't, but you can see virtual reality from your phone, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a start. Seeing it's a start.
Yeah. It's definitely a start. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you all for joining us today on our Hello Pivot live broadcast. Next week, tune in. We have some amazing guests that are coming up, so be on the lookout. And with that being said, love,
kindness,
integrity,
but most importantly,
commitment, my friends. And until next time.
Definitely.
And until next time, y'all. Thanks, Miss Roberta, for being here. We greatly appreciate it. And sending everybody else out there who's watching us lots of love. And so with that said, toodles.
Toodles.
Bye.